Please rise as you are willing and able for our hymn from the Gray Hymnal, number 347, Gather the Spirit. We bid you welcome. We do not ask what you believe or expect you to think a certain way, but only that you try to live a kindly, helpful life with the dignity proper to a human being. Welcome all who believe that religion is wider than any sect and deeper than any set of opinions. Welcome all who might find in our friendship strength and encouragement for daily living. My name is Ellen Greenya, and I am the service and vocal leader today. My pronouns are she, hers. Thank you for spending your St. Patrick's Day Sunday morning with us, whether enjoying the service in person or watching online. How do you pay for your green beer on St. Patrick's Day? With a leper coin, of course. I'd like to extend a special welcome to any visitors today. After the service, we invite you to stay for coffee and conversation downstairs in our reception hall. Joys and sorrows will be shared after announcements. Please take a moment now to silence your phones, but we encourage you to share your presence with us on social media. Announcements. There's always announcements.
Hi, Katie Coker coming to you from Publicity today. We have new bumper stickers for your cars. So if you would like one, please see me after service. I'll be downstairs, and you can have one. They're free, so just let me know.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Joan Daly, chairman of Daytimers. Daytimers will meet this week at last. On Thursday at noon, bring your lunch, and we welcome any new members. And you don't have to be old like me. I was sitting there figuring it out, and you can be 41 years younger than me and still come fit at 50. So.
Hello. Next Tuesday, or this Tuesday, the 19th at 6 p.m., we'll be gathering for a equinox celebration at Rotary Park in Livonia. We'll meet by the Playscape Pavilion area at 6 p.m., do a quick little meditation, set intention, and take a nature walk to celebrate the equinox. And it's supposed to be a pretty nice day, so yay.
Jim Tedesco for Building and Grounds. A lot of you are probably aware that we've been locking the Adams Hall side entrance, making it difficult to park in the lower parking lot and gain a convenient access to the building. Just want to let you know there's now a new device and policy where we'll be unlocking that door before service. So if you want to park in the lower parking lot again and come in through the side of Adams Hall, it'll be open before service. After service starts, like the front doors, we'll be relocking it. It's very easy if anybody wants to know how to temporarily render the door unlocked. It's real easy. There's a magnetic strip down there. You stick it over the strike plate. Just if you do that for any event that you have going on here, just make sure to put it back and have the door relocked.
Good morning. Karen here from fundraising, and I'm here to just remind everybody that the Stewardship campaign kicks off today, and we also have quite a few people who have already pledged, and there'll be an event later in service to celebrate that. If you want to pledge, there's a number of ways you can do it. You can do it online, you can do it on paper, you can mail it in, you can drop it in a drop box in the volunteer office, all those, any way you want, or you can see me, whatever. We also have openings for the cottage meetings. If you would like to go to one, you can check your e-blast, sign up for one of those, or again, you can see me after the service. Thank you very much.
Hi, it's Ted Goldberg, and I just want to, two things. The first thing is, I haven't been here in a while, but just want to thank everybody that showed up to our one-act plays. I know Kelly and Corey, and I appreciate all that support. And second thing is, I will be retiring from my full-time job after 44 years at the end of this month, which will give me more time to do some community theater. Thank you.
Good morning. Yvonne with Social Justice. Just a couple reminders. First of all, the crop walk is coming up on May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. Just want to remind everybody that that's coming up, and what that does is support Church World Service that does good works around the world, and it also supports 5 local food pantries. And we have a lot of walkers already, but you can still sign up to be a walker. So the people who are walking in the Crop Hunger Walk, if you can stand up, those are people that you can donate to. Thank you very much. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, you can give a donation to any one of the walkers, or online, or see the email blast. And thank you very much for that. It makes a huge difference. And you can see me in Adams Hall down for coffee hour if you have any questions about that. And the second thing is, I have letters still in support of the Global Fund to Fight AIDS, TB, and malaria, and as well as maternal and child health globally. And they'll be downstairs in Adams Hall. You're welcome to sign them, and then I send them to our U.S. senators and representatives. So thank you.
Two things I would like you to keep in mind, put on your calendar. Next Sunday, right after the service, we're doing a overview of the Article 2 proposal right here in the meeting house, and so it'll be right after the service. Everybody's welcome to come. And then on April 7th, we are doing it's called a history wall project, because we're literally putting the dates on the wall downstairs in Adams Hall, and it is a potluck, so it's an opportunity for people to learn about the history of this congregation. Come share your parts in the history of this congregation. I look forward to hearing from all of you. So there's also going to be an adult ed on class on Article 2, starting not this Thursday, but the next one. So, but the two big things are next Sunday and April 7th.
Please check the UUCF website or emails for other announcements about upcoming events.
Good morning again. My name is Reverend Karen Madrone, and I have the privilege of serving this congregation. It's such a joy every Sunday to see your beautiful faces. Today's chalice lighting is collaborative. So we have Paul Bassina and Jim Tedesco. If you want to come on up. Paul, come up. Everybody who is part of this. Heidi and Leah and Tyler and Dominic. So Paul, if you could come stand. Paul, line up at the microphone. Come to the microphone, and we'll wait for everybody to come to their places. Jim, you want to move over? The whole family come over to the left. Okay, so Paul is going to begin, and he will have his reading, and then he's going to move down to the right.
Across the generations, we have carried the flame. We fought the injustice, sang the songs, spoke for truth, and built something lasting. We join in the line and we carry the flame forward.
Across the generations, we are tending the flame. Hand in hand together, we share in the work of fighting injustice, singing the songs, speaking the truth. And here we are to build something lasting. We join in the line and we carry the flame forward.
Across the generations, we have been nourished by this flame. We are singing new songs, breaking old barriers, sharing in the work, and as we find our own space in what has been, we are here to make space for the next person as well. We join in the line and we carry the flame forward.
Across the generation, this flame comes to us. We are here for the songs, for the justice, for the community sharing the work. We are here now, too, to build something new and lasting. We are ready for a new day together. We join in the line and we carry the flame forward.
Thank you all for being readers. We are done. You may have your seat. For our collaborative reading today, showing our work across many, many generations, and so many of you know generations long before the ones represented here. Thank you all so much. Before we read our affirmation of mission, because the focus is on that we seek answers everywhere, include everyone, live with compassion, I like to lift up a new practice of honoring organizations or groups within our congregation that we can see doing that. So I just wanted to lift up Building and Grounds for the amazing work they've been doing all year on making our spaces more accessible, more inclusive, and more welcoming. So a big hand to Building and Grounds. So please join us and read together the UCF mission statement on the inside of your order of service. We seek answers everywhere, include everyone, and live with compassion. And now Corey is going to share the message for all ages.
Good morning. Can everybody hear me okay? All right. I'm Corey Cortez, the RE coordinator here. Hi. I want all my RE friends to come up because we are going to be, whoa, okay, watch out for the microphone. Oh my goodness, pretty new. Look at all this green today. We are wearing green for spring and St. Patrick's Day if you want to. Sit down here. Yes, grass is green, you're right. Here, sit down. Here, sit down. Okay, that's great. So, we are going to be learning from daffodils today. How many of you noticed the daffodils that are growing out in front of the church this morning? Any of the kids? Yeah, you did. They're the beautiful yellow flowers that look like this. You see? Ooh. Did you see these as you were walking in? Did you guys see these? Yeah. So when you look at a daffodil, there are lots of things you notice. What do you notice about the daffodil?
It's yellow. Grass equals to the color green.
Oh yeah, so there's green and yellow.
And the yellow in the middle
white.
and white. It's white on the outside.
Okay, so these daffodils are yellow in the middle and white on the outside. Anybody else notice anything? Here, I'm going to give you another picture too to look at.
I can't see any.
Yes, Dante.
They're star-shaped.
Oh, they are kind of a star-shaped, aren't they? Yeah. So, almost no one ever notices the little withered brown bit at the base of the flower. See that right there? That's why I got this one, so you could really see the back of it.
Let me see.
I'm coming. Can you see, Colin?
What's it for?
Oh, that's a good question. That's what we're going to learn about. It's really, that little part is really, really important. When the daffodil comes up, the ground is still pretty hard. And sometimes it's cold and sometimes even snow. They said it was supposed to snow today. Can you believe that? And Tuesday is spring. It happens here in Michigan. So this little part.
And a few days ago, it was super warm.
I know.
It was sore and a teeth.
Yes, that's why my sinuses are all confused.
I was wearing shorts and teeth out, and that was hot.
I know. So this part is really, really important. You want to hear what it does?
What?
Well, when it comes up, this part is actually tough green. It's a tough green skin that protects the flower. So at first, the daffodils have this tough green skin to protect the blossoms. After it gets warmer, the daffodil doesn't need that protection anymore, and it shrivels up and it dies. The flower doesn't need it. Has to die or shrivel up so that some new part of us can grow and give beauty to the world.
Like when we're growing up.
Yes, exactly. So remember how we saw, you weren't here that day, but we had pictures of you when you were little. I don't think you were here that day. And we saw pictures of some of us when we were little and then we grew up. It's the same thing, right? So oddly enough, though, this dead, shriveled up part of the daffodil. Okay, 1, we can be brave and wise enough when the right time comes to push out from under our tough skins of our souls that protect us from all that harsh, all that is hard, and that can damage the more fragile parts of ourselves. We can let some parts of ourselves die so that new parts of ourselves can live in beauty. Yeah. And here's 2. Are you ready? Yes. Like snakes when they shed their skin. That is a great example.
They said it because they get too big for it.
Yeah. We can, so here's the second one, ready? We can hold on to that shriveled up part, especially if doing so helps us remember to honor and value all parts of ourselves, all parts of our experience. Just because we don't need that part it doesn't mean it doesn't have any value. It was very necessary to have that protection then when we needed it, just like the daffodil, and very good to remember and appreciate it now. Okay? So we are going to be learning some more from the flowers as spring moves along. Yeah, we're going to go outside and actually look at the flowers. So, are you ready to do that? All right, let's go. Oh, yeah, sometimes shoes are so restricting, aren't they?
Let us please join in singing number 414 as we leave this friendly place with our rainbow arch. Please wait, no, wait. With our rainbow arch as we sing our children out.
We make space today for authentic and vulnerable sharing, which helps to build this congregation into beloved community. We invite you to share what's going on in your life, to name your feelings and the people on your heart in need of prayer, good energy, best wishes, and other help. We invite you to get into your body and investigate what emotions you're experiencing, to share them as you feel called so we can help one another hold our joys, our grief, our in-between feelings. You are welcome to come pick up a stone or stones from the table, infuse or charge it with your joy or sorrow, and place it in the singing bowl, where its energy will ripple out to be held by all of us. If you'd like to verbally share something important on your heart, please come and speak directly into a microphone of your choice. No, the one in the center there. If you have submitted a joy or sorrow via text, it will be read aloud by me, and I don't have any today. All are welcome to participate in any of these ways. 3 candles for the intentions that rest in the silent sanctuary of our hearts. 1 for the joys, 1 for the sorrows, and 1 for the strength of the gathered community that can support you and bring you peace.
Let us take all that we've heard people say out loud, all the energy that we've experienced from the stones being placed into our singing bowl, what we know of this community, and all of the impacts that it has out into the world. Let us take all of that, bring it into our hearts, and hold a moment of silence together. Please hold that intention and energy for a meditation that we're going to do together. Our theme for our stewardship campaign this year is Connected Through Love, We Nurture the Flame. So I want you to just contemplate on these words. Connected through love, we pay attention. We pay attention to what is happening within us and beyond. Connected through love, we listen. We listen to the words people say. We listen to the birds. And we listen to what is happening around us. Connected through love, we respond and support each other through our own physical crises, emotional crises. Sometimes we just need someone to listen. Connected through love, we offer support. Connected through love, we learn and grow. We challenge our own beliefs, always striving to be ever more inclusive in whatever way that looks like in your life. Connected through love, we stay in community, we stay in relationship, even when there are differences of opinion. Connected through love, we give our time, supporting the whole. Connected through love, we build the beloved community and make a difference to everyone we impact far beyond these walls. Connected through love, we nurture the flame within each of us, this congregation, and the whole world. Let us take another moment in silence together. And now from your seats, let us sing number 346 in your gray hymnal. It's Come Sing a Song with Me.
Come Money is Like Water by Lynn Twist from The Soul of Money. Money is like water. It flows through all our lives, sometimes like a rushing river, and sometimes like a trickle. When it is flowing, it can purify, cleanse, create growth, and nourish. But when it is blocked or held too long, it can grow stagnant and toxic to those withholding or hoarding it. Like water, money is a carrier. It can carry blessed energy, possibility, and intention, or it can carry control, domination, and guilt. It can be a current or currency of love, a conduit for commitment, or a carrier of hurt or harm. We can be flooded with money and drown in its excess, and when we dam it up unnecessarily, we keep it out of circulation to the detriment of others. In this condition of scarcity, money shows up not as a flow, but as an amount, something to collect and hold on to stockpile. We measure our self-worth by our net worth, and only and always more is better. Any drop on the balance sheet is experienced as a loss that diminishes us. Grounded in sufficiency, money's movement in and out of our life feels natural. We can see that flow as healthy and true and allow that movement instead of being anxious about it or hoarding. In sufficiency, we recognize and celebrate money's power for good, our power to do good with it. And we can experience fulfillment in directing the flow toward our highest ideals and commitments. When we perceive the world as one in which there is enough, and we are enough to make the world work for everyone, everywhere, with no one left out, our money carries that energy and generates relationships and partnerships in which everyone feels able and valued, regardless of their economic circumstances.
Thank you, Ellen. So the reading that Ellen just shared is from the book, The Soul of Money. I recommend checking it out if you're interested in thinking more on how money impacts your life. I wonder if you have ever thought of the idea of money having a soul or meaning, whatever the word soul might mean for you. And if so, how would that meaning apply to your UU faith? How do we actually live it in terms of what do we have with this, and how do our ideas and teachings apply to how we actually spend or save or give money? I personally believe that if we truly live our faith, not just come here on Sunday because it's such a beautiful place, and it is a stunning place, but we have to take our beliefs out into the world. If we actually do that, then we can impact people far beyond who we can imagine. In the capitalist society we live in, money has many purposes and meanings. As people who are committed to spiritual and ethical growth, to true transformation in our lives, we have the ability, dare I say responsibility, to make meaning out of our relationship to money. In order to help congregants here think about their relationship to money, especially in support of this year's stewardship campaign, I said I would facilitate a study of the Unitarian Universalist Association curriculum that's called the Wisdom Path. So it's a 12-session program, and I synthesized it down to 3 to cover 3 different themes. I have done this, a one-session overview at my internship congregation when I was in Brooklyn, so I was familiar with the curriculum itself, and I was excited to share it with all of you. So it was scheduled on Thursday, March 7th, last Thursday, March 14th, and this coming Thursday, March 21st. How many people do you think participated in the first 2 sessions? Take a guess. Heidi has her hand up because she knows. So, because one person showed up to the first session, and she arrived a few minutes late, not a big deal, but because this person is also a leader here and we needed to talk about something else, then we talked about that. We both let each other go, and then I virtually attended the Religious Education Committee meeting instead. So that's how that went. Now, in telling you this, some of you might be having some kind of feelings. So let me address them now. My projection onto you is how you might be hearing this. I am not telling you this for you to feel ashamed or embarrassed about not attending a class I offered. I don't really care. I look at these kinds of experiences as experiments. I look at our community as ongoing experiments. What are we observing? What are we noticing? Can we pay attention to what has happened and try not to make a negative meaning out of it? Like, this is an observation. Oh, what can we learn? Without it being, oh, it's some big terrible thing. How can we look at it in an objective viewpoint? I actually completely understand why people didn't attend if they gave it any thought, if they were aware of it, if they gave it any kind of thought and then decided not to attend. I completely understand. Money is a very hard thing to talk about in our culture. It's just like, the idea of going to family gatherings. We don't talk about religion, politics, money. And so because of that, people carry a lot of their own baggage, a lot of their own stories, and there might have been fear of, oh, are we going to be asked personal questions? Or there's a lot of vulnerability that's tied up in the idea of talking about money. So I completely understand. We all need money to take care of our basic physical, emotional, and, dare I say, spiritual needs. Every day, we need money to pay for our housing, food, transportation, clothing, utilities, entertainment, our family members, our pets, and other things we value. Most of us spend money at least a couple of times a week, whether it's through a bill or something we purchase somewhere. It is always coming in and out of our hands. It is a form of energy that we work to earn, and then we have to decide what we are going to actually do with this money, this energy that showed up in our lives. It is a constant source of thought, and the existence of it, or the abundance of it, or absence of it, impacts our daily life and the decisions that we make on a regular basis. But we don't talk about money out loud because we've been taught that money is shameful or embarrassing, or that we don't tell people how much we make. It's like some big secret all the time. And we keep all of these things for so many reasons because of everything that's been passed down to us. There's so much secrecy, and there's a certain amount that, we need to have as secrets. And at the same time, I believe that keeps us in a place of not being, I feel like one of the things about it is it carries this stigma, because if we don't actually talk about what we don't know, then we become more and more stuck in that. I don't like the feeling of we can't talk about something that maybe we're struggling with. It could be something that we need help from other people with, but we don't know if we don't actually talk and communicate what is happening. In our culture, some people, I'm going to say some people because we know not all people, feel ashamed about making too much money. Every once in a while, if something has happened in your life where a windfall has shown up, they're like, oh, what do I do with this? And then other people, because of the way that our whole culture is operated, feel shame about making too little money. There's this vast spectrum on both sides in our world. In our capitalist society, we are taught from a young age that our value and worth as a human being is tied to the dollar value we earn in our paychecks, as if somehow that matters to our existence. What kind of home we live in and the vehicles we drive. We believe we are being judged all of the time, and if we don't feel like we're being judged by other people, we might be judging ourselves. I don't know about you, but somewhere along the way, I got the message, because I think it's deeply in our culture, that people with large incomes, however that's defined for you, were somehow smarter people. I grew up with a struggling single mother who worked hard to keep the utilities on, and so struggling was the norm. And so I would hear about there's this fantasy world out there where people make vast amounts of income, and I had assumed that these people were smarter or better somehow. As an adult, I had internalized the message that you didn't make it, whatever make it means, in life until you owned your own home, which I felt I could never, ever do because my life had not taken some kind of straight path. So I just did not see how that was even a possibility. I felt a lot of shame and embarrassment about that for many, many years. It took a long time for me to learn that people who had better financial resources, that just means they had more resources available to them to make different kinds of decisions, they're not necessarily better people or smarter people. It's just this line of BS that we've been passed to us. So being able to go, okay, they just have something different doesn't make them better than me as a human. It's hard to get over that. It's hard to move past that because it's always somehow being passed to us. It takes a serious effort to be willing to examine our own money stories. What are the stories that we are carrying with us all the time? And to create new ones. If you've heard me philosophize about life, and many of you have over and over again, I think about the stories that we carry. And stories are always influencing how we believe and what we're thinking and how we project onto people. It's always right there. We believe stories internally that may or may not be true. It's something that we have created something out of, and there may be some validity in it, but we are the ones who give it meaning. So I thought I would share with you one money story in my life that impacted me and may or may not have affected me even being able to be here today. So a long time ago, in another lifetime when I lived in North Carolina, and I was part of the UU Church of Greensboro there, that I served on the board of their board, which is a slightly different structure. So they had trustees who served for 3-year terms. And so I served as a trustee for those 3 years. And during that time, then what I noticed was that the board president, every year, there was this unspoken tradition, kind of an expectation that at the end of the year that the board president would host a end of year celebration open house thing at their home. So I went to those every year and I thought, no way could I be board president here because I live in a tiny 1-bedroom apartment in a neighborhood that I wasn't going to invite people to. I had this story all made up, I could not be board president because of this thing that's not even in the bylaws. It is a tradition that people did, but it's not a requirement. So I had that in my head. So I had 3 years as a trustee, and then I had 1 year off, and then I was asked to come back and serve as vice president, which was a 2-year term. So I came back and served, and then about partway through my vice presidency, then there, like here, it's not expected that the vice president become the president. So so partway through, then the interim minister at that time, she said, you know what, I've been reading the bylaws and it looks like it's not like a stepping stone thing. I said, you're right. And then she said, well, you really need to talk to them about you serving it. And in my head, I was like, that's not going to happen because I had it in my head that I could not be a board president if I couldn't have people over to my house. And so what happened in between was that eventually my wife, Michelle, and I met, and over a course of time, then because I was able to, I got a new job, a higher income, and our combined incomes, we were able to buy a townhouse in the city that I was living in. And so then I felt comfortable saying yes to being board president. And I served as 2 years. And then I was able to move on and go to seminary and take all these other steps in my life. But that story could have kept me back from everything else that has happened in my life since then. Because I had made up a story about who can be things, who can do things based on the home that I saw them serving in. It still chokes me up. And the ways that we make stories out of things. Nowhere did anybody say, you have to do this. But it was something that I felt like I could not, that was an obstacle. But the truth is, my UU friends from all over the country, not one of them, the people I knew there, not one of them would have judged me, right? Not one of them would have said, oh no, what kind of person are you to live there? Or, nobody would have been doing that because they believe, they live these values, right, that we say here. So I'm the one who made up that story. I'm the one that said, these people won't come to my place, these people would judge me. But they would not have, they wouldn't have, and they won't now. So sometimes I think on how we have these stories, and also that our belief about inherent dignity and worth, well, guess what? We think about it in terms of other people, but it applies to us too. All of us, our own selves, we also have inherent dignity and worth, regardless of how much money we make or don't make, how much money we have saved, how much money we give away. Our value as a person is not tied to how much money we actually make. So that was a pretty heavy story, but I wanted to share it with you because I think we all carry some version of what we can or can't do. I wanted to think about the stories that I hear here at UCF. I have been serving this congregation since May of last year, so almost coming up on a year. And I have heard a variety of money stories and the risks that have been taken here as a congregation. What are the stories that this congregation has? I've heard about expanding the role of the minister because it's gone up over time until the last two have been full-time, well, actually last three. You moved one minister, a couple of ministers back to full-time and have stayed that way. You have moved Corey Cortez's, our religious education coordinator, up from 10 hours to 20 hours just in the year that I've been here. And that's in order to contribute more time to our RE program and make it even more professional. The building and expansions that have taken place here are moments of pride in UCF's history. And yet, it's important to note that at the time, I love hearing the story from George and others that at the time when some of the expansion ideas came around, it wasn't 100% clear, are we really going to be able to do this? It was a risk, but you did it anyway. You felt like the funding would come and we will do this. The congregation moved forward because you believed it was the right thing to do. For all of these past efforts, UCF should be very proud. Especially if you are relatively new to Unitarian Universalism, I just want to say it is important to know that each congregation is entirely self-funded. We contribute to the Unitarian Universalist Association. It is what it's called is an association of congregations. We support them, as some people refer to it as headquarters, but it's not a hierarchy. We're not emboldened to them to do anything, and there aren't funds that flow this way. We support them because they actually support us through curriculum and other things that they do for us. Congregations are entirely responsible for their own governance and funding. In order to meet its obligations, the lights staying on, the heat, all of these kinds of things, the majority of UUCF's income comes from pledging. Therefore, there are practical realities of funding this liberal religious home. That's just the basics, just like you have at your own home. Like I get my water bill yesterday, ordinary things that we all have to do. In addition, making a pledge is a way of living our value of generosity and the spiritual practice of giving without expectation of an outcome for ourselves as individuals. It's an opportunity to practice non-transactional giving. When you purchase something at a local store, you exchange your money for specific goods. You give something, you get something back. That's how it works in our capitalist world. However, when you give to a charitable organization in your religious community, you are giving because you believe in the mission of the community itself. You give to this community because you want to be part of implementing UUCF's mission of including everyone, seeking answers everywhere, and living with compassion. Connected through love, the congregation as a whole sees the bigger picture of its two big goals this year, which you should have all gotten this letter. The two big goals are expanding staff salary and benefits and additional work towards the taking care of our facilities. And it is working to increase its giving to meet these goals this year. Now, I understand the love of this historic building and support the ways that Building and Grounds continuously improves and maintains the entire structure. These people have big dreams. You should talk to them. They are just ongoing all the time, taking care of the needs. And I want to highlight another goal put forth from the executive board, which is described also here in your letter, of increasing staff benefits. Going back to thinking about institutional money stories, one story that UCF has had for many years is that you, can't afford to offer benefits to staff. Depending on the year and the size of the budget, that may have been true. You know, it's looking at the numbers and going, this is what we can actually do. That may have been true. We can't change the past, but we can work together to create a new story for the future. You all can change this story. This year, you are being encouraged to give at a level that will move staff up to the midpoint of their salary ranges and will offer money towards health insurance that UCF currently does not provide. This is stated in the pledge campaign letter, so I'm not stating anything new. I just wanted to make sure that you know that this is not a secret. At the current moment, the majority of staff do not have health insurance benefits of any kind. This raises the question, is this the kind of employer UCF wants to be? How we spend our money. Sorry, it's just like the whole year, I've just really been thinking about this. How we spend our money, how we give away our money, are value statements. UCF providing insurance benefits or not is a value statement. The executive board's work to make this a priority is a huge, huge leap of faith. They are taking a risk in stating this out loud. They are taking a risk in saying that it is no longer acceptable for all staff to not have access to health benefits. However, they need your help. They are working to change the story of UCF as an employer, and they need your help to do this. So now, UCF members and friends are in the place of deciding how much they are going to contribute to this year's pledge campaign. Your pledges will determine whether or not these goals are met. Your pledges will determine if UCF can change its money story, whether it can go from saying, we don't have insurance benefits to most of our staff, to we are a fair employer that contributes funds for health insurance benefits for our staff. This goal can only be met if all members and committed friends make their pledge and consider increasing your pledge from previous years. These goals can be met. But more importantly, the executive board believes in these goals and believes they can be met. UCF can do this. We can change that story, but only with your support. Each and every member and friend contributes to the whole. That is one key aspect that is UU congregational life. For this year's campaign, we will be using this visual of the chalice. Each person or couple, what we call a pledging unit, will, when they make a pledge online or on the form, will receive a flame. Many of you received yours today, and each Sunday going forward, more flames will be added. From today through April 28th, we will see the flame continue to grow and build, all because of you, each and every one of you, and many, many who are not here today. Will those of you who have already turned in your pledge and received a flame today Please come up to the front and attach your flame to our chalice. Come on up. This, friends, is merely the beginning of a successful pledge campaign that will meet its goals. By meeting these goals, this congregation will continue to dig deep and dream big about how it can take these values out into the community and the larger world. We can and will make a change. Through practicing our value of generosity and becoming more aware of the stories we tell, we will fund UCF's goals now and into the future. May it be ever so. Thank you all.
Generosity is one of the spiritual values we recognize as central to our personal and institutional well-being. You are now invited to participate in the blessing of giving as the ushers come among you to accept the gifts of the congregation. You may also give online via the QR code on the back of the order of service. Thank you.
That was just for me.
There's only one way to reach across the border. There's only one hope to loosen heavy chains. If we have love, we can free the brokenhearted. It's time to look toward the future and say, in a world that's full of rain, we can do the dark tonight. No matter where we stand, we need to reach out our hand, take it wrong and make it right.
We can speak the truth out loud. Let us sing this song tonight. No matter where we live, we all have something to give. Wanna build a future that's bright, greater than our strength,
Of loneliness and poverty,
greater than the sin,
of shame and fear,
deeper than the pain.
of war and loss,
Please stand if you are willing and able.
Sing to the power of the faith within. Sing to the power of the faith within. Lift up your voice, be not afraid. Sing to the power of the faith within. Sing to the power of the hope within. Lift up your voice, be not afraid. Sing to the power of the faith within. Sing to the power of the love within. Sing to the power of the love within. Lift up your voice, be not afraid. The last part, the power of the love within.
Our closing words today are from Reverend Peter Rabel. He writes, "Together we are more than any one person could be. Together we can build across the generations. Together we can renew our hope and faith in the life that is yet to unfold. Together we can heed the call to a ministry of care and justice. We are ever bound in community. May it always be so." Amen.